So you've been in this filmmaking game for well over a decade, because you said you were making films even as young as 7, right? Because your dad was in the industry. What do you think the future of filmmaking will be like 10 to 20 years from now? What do you see? You know, DVD market obviously collapsed, took a lot of jobs with
it. And how, 20 years?
10, 20 years, yeah.
I mean, I just wonder what it's going to be like in a year, you know. I mean, I've been talking to, because I work with, you know, multiple distributors, and I've been talking to a lot of them recently about stuff like this, and because they're, you know, everyone's freaking out, you know. And I remember, and I'm talking about indie distributors. I don't know as far as like, you know, bigger indie like IFC or Magnolia. I'm not talking about the big indie, you know, or Sony or anything like that. I'm talking about like the really indie distributors. I remember in 2007, one of them told me that a good selling DVD was 3,000 copies. You know, if they sold 3,000 copies, then they made their money back, and a little bit more. Now it's 300 copies, and a lot of their movies do like 50 to 100 copies. It's like, I can't imagine, you know, working on a movie for a year and it sells like 100 copies. I mean, you get 100 YouTube views in a couple seconds, you know, with the right video. You know, and then, you know, another company, they're not even going to do DVD anymore. They're like, you know what, we're just going to do strictly, you know, the internet or cable, which for somebody like me, so I don't even have the internet, you know, so I basically watching movies, I have no idea how it's going to turn out, because watching movies for me in a small town sucks, because I only rented from the video stores. We used to have 10, now we have none. We only have Redbox, and their movies suck. And, you know, you get like 30, you know, a choice of like 30 films, and you can't even like look at the back of the DVDs. So my whole way of viewing movies has gotten changed so much. I would rent a movie based on the back of the DVD, because that really kind of would break or sell the movie. And when I would do that, 95% I would say of what I rented turned out to be good, because I knew how to judge that way. Now it's the opposite. 95% of what I watch is shit, so I'm almost to the point where I don't even want to watch movies anymore, because I don't really get to judge it before I, you know, I base it just on a little image from the front, you know, when I rent. And who knows how long Redbox is going to be around if everything goes to the internet, you know. So I don't know. I'm actually really freaked out about that. I mean, it seems like people's attention spans are too short. You know, like it reminds me of some of these futuristic movies where you're watching, you know, they would show, I'm trying to think of what movie, was it Minority Report? Or, I don't know what it was, but maybe it was Gamer. Anyways, I can't remember the movie, but I swear there's been multiple movies where like they'll show somebody watching 20 channels at once, you know, 20 different monitors. And that actually seems like what people do nowadays. It seems like they're close to that. So and that means I don't see how anybody's going to want to sit through a movie anymore. I mean, I went and saw Sin City last night, and there was 4 people in the theater, and that just came out. I saw Expendables 3 on opening night, and there were 6 people in the theater in Hollywood at the Dome. You know, I mean, I know there's certain movies that are doing well, but it's like, I was looking around the past few movies I've been to, and I'm like, how are these places going to keep in business, you know? I mean, I know there's money still being made, but it's like, for how much bigger the population is, the money has not gone up with it, you know what I mean? And that means a lot of people, a large percentage of people are not going to the movies like they used to be. And as far as at home, I mean, you know, people start watching something. I see a lot of people review my stuff. They're like, oh, I watched 30 seconds. I don't want to watch it, but I'm going to talk shit about it anyways. And that's the kind of people that live in today's world. They don't, everybody's so into themselves. I don't think anybody wants to invest 2 hours into a movie of something somebody else did. And for how self-centered people are today, I don't actually see movies existing in 20 years. I don't see how it actually could at the rate we're going. So who knows what the film business is going to be like in 20 years. There's probably going to be 20 channels of Look at Me or the news. I mean, who wants to spend 2 hours invested in something that's not them? We're such a Look at Me generation, you know? And nothing sells anymore. People pirate movies like crazy. They don't think it's worth anything. You know, 1,000 people spend $100 million over the course of 3 years making a movie, and people think they can just rip it off. You know, I mean, so what does that say about where, you know, the industry is going? I don't know. It's scary. that's one reason why I'm trying to pump out as many movies as I can right now, or work as much as I can, because I think that it could possibly completely die. I mean, you know, then again, the world could explode, so who knows? You know, that could happen tomorrow.